Morning, ladies. Your old pal Brian. After a minor false start, I left my door cat, the horror. Ellie, come. Ellie Bain, come.
Flaps down. Throttle active.
I had
Flaps down. Flaps down.
ooh, vegetation.
Flaps down. Flaps at 12.5 volts.
So where are we at? Oh, I hadn't been flying in a while out here, and I almost blew it off this morning because what I'm wanting to do is eventually kind of start backing off a bit because
12.5 volts.
it's a solitary sport, if you will, and when I travel to, say to my wife, hey, listen, I need to get away for a few hours and fly, with any frequency is effectively a party foul.
12.5 volts.
I think. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start kind of slowing up a bit. We got 2 months,
12.5 volts.
57 days-ish. And I'm going to not be as rabid about flying as I used to be. A lot of the time it was just to burn off energy from work. But now I got all kinds of other stuff I can be doing. I don't know how accurate that is, man. Usually it cooks off about 0.5 of a volt just getting up in the air. So I'm not trusting what I'm hearing.
Volts.
Nah. I don't know how accurate that is. So anywho, I got the S6R working in the other airplane. What a fucking hassle. It took me 45 minutes just to get the STK to work because it wouldn't find the COM port. That's to go ahead and flash the firmware to have the latest firmware inside the receiver.
12.5
Yeah,
volts.
that's not accurate. Where were we? Oh, no, it took me, I had to flash the transmitter, and I flashed it with the firmware in the transmitter to get the Lewis script to work. And
12.5 volts.
yeah, there's an inaccuracy here. So as such, what ended up happening was it jacked my sounds around. I had the right pack, and of course I go on there and people take umbrage with you immediately and think you're a fucking idiot, and God, yeah, that's the downside about the interwebs.
12.5 volts.
So what I ended up doing was figured it out. It didn't transition appropriately, so what you have to do is you have to remove your telemetry unit, remove it from the transmitter firmware, or
12.5 volts.
software, if you will, and then bark like a dog and jump around like a chicken, and then reinstall, have it do discovery, and when it finds it, unplug it, and then just do all kinds of crazy shit to make this happen. So get all that out of the way.
12.5
I'm actually
volts.
still suffering that because every aircraft that has telemetry, I got to go through that procedure before I can fly it. And right now we're suffering this malady because it's giving me spurious readings. But anywho,
12.5 volts.
you get past all that shit, and then when I went to this is all a repeat of a previous email, but I have a bunch of lurkers out there, which is odd. So when I do the transmitter, the receiver, I
12.5
I skip one thing in the setup. You got to do D16 and then 1 through 16 channels. That way you can encompass these phantom channels to do other things on your transmitter, like stabilize,
12.5 volts.
auto level, and off. So what ends up happening is you, if you don't do that, and it's 1 through 8, and you need channels 9 and 10 and 11, you're not going to have those channels available. And it's just a very simple thing. And I didn't read the manual. I watch YouTube videos, and I kind of hope things are comprehensive, but I think that was missed in Painless 360's deal, but not in DIY RC. That dude had it down pat. That dude's pedantic.
12.5 volts.
Let me do this. I wonder if I can reset telemetry. Let's point the airplane in the correct direction. And see if I can push the
12.5 volts. Switch warning. Battery critical. Low battery. Battery critical.
Let's see if it reset it without dropping it out of the
Battery
sky.
critical. Battery critical. Low battery. 0 volts. Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical. Low battery.
Not true.
Battery critical. 0 volts. Battery critical. Battery critical. Low battery.
Ellie bells.
Battery critical.
The lake is as high as I've actually ever seen it. And this is the beginning of summer. Oh, you almost got it.
Volts.
We're going to see it
Low battery.
even more wet as the season goes on.
Battery
I don't want to lose my airplane in the shadows.
Battery critical.
Alright, let's bring it in and figure out what's going on with the telemetry. That's
Battery
obnoxious.
critical. Low battery.
Fucking hassle. Yeah, I
0
love Free Sky,
volts.
but man, oh man.
Battery critical. Battery critical.
Beaver. Hey, don't drink the whole lake,
Battery critical.
monkeys.
Low battery. Battery critical. 0 volts. Battery critical. Battery critical. Low battery. Battery critical. Battery critical. 0 volts. Battery critical. Low battery. Battery critical. Stabilization off. Battery critical. High rates.
Might have ran it to
Battery
LBC.
critical. Low battery. 0 volts. Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical. Low battery. Battery critical. 0 volts. Battery critical.
That's what I think it did.
Throttle disabled. Battery critical. Low battery.
Alrighty. See you in a minute.
Battery critical.